Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. And I am so excited to be joining each and every one of you today as the lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And we are now just 2 days away from Arizona State's massive Week 2 of Big 12 play of the Big 12 slate against the TCU Horned Frogs, and a program that has been in national prominence over the last 15 years or so. Ever since Andy Dalton took over as quarterback of the program, they have regularly been a fixture at the or near the top of the college football world. They're just 3 seasons removed from making the national championship game. This is a TCU program that is not to be taken lightly. They are now headlined by another phenomenal quarterback in Josh Hoover. They are nationally ranked. They have another NFL draft prospect on the other side of the ball in Bud Clark. And TCU looks to be a well-oiled machine once again under Sonny Dykes. And the this game could not be more vital for Arizona State. They need to win this game going into the bye week. They need to be 4-1 heading into a massive duel in Salt Lake City in just about 2 weeks. And let's get started in today's show. Before we do that, please follow me on X/Twitter at khicks_21 if and when you get the opportunity to do so. A lot of my content will be posted on there, and you'll be able to follow along better in game and in practices through that means. So, by all means, please give me a follow, and your support means everything to me. Now, let's get into today's show. So, today I kind of wanted to talk about 5 distinct players that I believe will be keys to an Arizona State victory this Friday, which, as of the dropping of this recording, will be near game day. So, without further ado, I believe that I am going to go with 2 offensive players, 2 defensive players, and a special teams player. You probably already know who the special teams player is, so I am going to go right into that and say that's Jesus Gomez, the kicker. Transfer from Eastern Michigan, knocked down nearly 80% of his field goals in his career before transferring to Arizona State, but this season he is 9 for 10 on field goals, has knocked down all 12 of his extra point attempts, and he has been the most reliable kicker that we have seen in Tempe since probably going all the way back to Zane Gonzalez, who had the record for most points in a collegiate career at one point. And Gomez kicked the game-winning field goal against Baylor. He has been fairly automatic, and it's going to be very important for him to be able to kick field goals in this game against TCU. According to most estimations, this was thought to be the case against Baylor as well, but it wasn't necessarily the case against Baylor. But TCU, it could be a different story. Lots of touchdowns are expected to be scored this week, but it really could come down to a field goal once again, and Gomez is going to be an X factor, especially considering last season that Arizona State did not have a reliable kicker, and that forced them to play situations differently that they normally wouldn't, that Kenny Dillingham wouldn't even get risky in this play calls for. So Jesus Gomez is an undeniable X factor in this game, and Arizona State is fortunate to have him. As for the defensive side of the ball, I believe that Kendrick Breedlove will be a massive player in this game. Obviously, there are tons of great players on the defensive side of the ball. You have Keyshawn Elliott, you have Jordan Crook, you have Keith Abney, you have CJ Fyatt. All of those guys are phenomenal, and I listed some of those guys as X Factors previously, but I believe Boogie Wilson will be a major X Factor, especially in relief of X Alford. That is really a major loss, but Boogie has done a phenomenal job picking up the slack. He has good chemistry with Miles Rouser, and he really is a solid player all around. The coaches did a great job by identifying him out of Washington State, bringing him on, because this time last year they didn't necessarily have that same depth at the safety position. Fortunately, X and Rouser played most of this, if not all of the season, but that doesn't always lend itself to being the case. So it's great that Boogie is part of the program right now. And that leads to my second X Factor. I believe that will be Clayton Smith. This might seem like a basic pick, as Clayton Smith leads the team in sacks currently. He is on pace to match his total from the previous 2 seasons in terms of sacks this season. He has gotten up to over 260 pounds without losing the explosiveness that he had previously. He's just a disruptor, and with Albert Smith III out, a valuable rotational rusher, even more the onus is going to be on Clayton to generate pressure on Josh Hoover, throw him off rhythm, keep him from improvising on a consistent basis. And I have a lot of faith in Clayton Smith to lead the charge for the Arizona State pass rush. I also believe that CJ Fight has really, really improved as a pass rusher as well, and that will be a big deal, along with his tone-setting, run-stopping style that's already in place. And that's really all I have for the defensive side of the ball. Now let's go to the offensive side of the ball. So I wanted to go with Kyson Brown. So Sip has missed he effectively missed the entire Mississippi State game. He missed Texas State, and he only played sparingly in the game against Baylor. I believe he took 4 touches. They didn't get many more snaps than that. And him being back in a full workload, as Kenny Dillingham said he will be an absolutely massive, massive get for the Sun Devil offense. Even what Coach Arroyo said earlier today in practice, that he'll be able to gift Kanye Udo and Raleek Brown a little more rest, because those guys will obviously factor into the offense as well. That's one of the strengths of the Arizona State running back room this year, is that all 3 of these guys complement each other. They all have an elite trait that makes them stand out from one another. And Kyson Brown, 145 total yards in the first game of the season against Northern Arizona. You really saw that high-level athleticism. You saw that second level that he can hit. You saw his blocking ability. You saw his pass-catching ability. And all of that being back will likely create a security blanket for Sam Leavitt. It will likely make the game script much, much easier for Coach Arroyo, and it will likely test TCU's defense in a ways that they haven't been tested this season by a rushing attack. So Kyson Brown being back in full force will be a factor, absolutely. And then lastly, I was kind of torn between these 2 players, but I'm going to personally say right now that Derek Eusebio is a big X factor. Really, Shimon Mateer and Jordan Tyson have been the only pass catchers that have distinguished themselves on a consistent basis. Shimon did not haul in a single pass in the game against Mississippi State. Since then, he's hauled in 13 passes, and he scored a touchdown. He's been as reliable as they come as a security blanket. And obviously, Jordan Tyson, one of the best receivers in the country. He can beat you from any level of the field in any coverage with any route tree, and he's just so diverse and dynamic. But Derek Eusebio has really been the only receiver outside of those guys that has distinguished himself, that has picked up a little bit of the slack. Jalen Moss obviously is about to miss his 4th game of the season. He got hurt midway into the Northern Arizona game, and he hasn't returned since. That's been a big loss, but Eusebio probably came up with the biggest play of the game before the last drive with the 61-yard catch on 3rd and 13. Absolute dime from Sam Leavitt to him. And then he also caught another ball, and he ran the ball twice. He's a really underrated weapon. He's really worked his way up from walk-on to scholarship player. He's as consistent as they come as a practice player. He rarely drops the ball. He knows what his role is. He knows exactly what spot to be in at what time. He's just a true professional as a sophomore in college, and I'm excited to see Eusebio get more reps this week. I believe that he really could be the complement that Arizona State has been looking for opposite Jordan Tyson. But we will have to wait and see for Friday night. I am so excited to be covering the game from Mountain America Stadium in Tempe for you, because of you, and by you. And I'm so grateful for all your support, and I will see you tomorrow.